Greetings, friends. Jared here with another video from Fanboys Forever. And here we are, the day after the premiere of the brand new Masters Universe Revelation trailer. This is the show that's by Kevin Smith, and it's going to be premiering on Netflix on, I believe, July 23rd. So not only are we going to be breaking down a lot of the things that really works very well with this trailer and a lot of the things I'm excited about, but I'm also going to be breaking down some concerns I have with the show in general. So stick around, be sure to subscribe, like the video if you can, and let's get right into it. First of all, we can see that Castle Grayskull itself looks awfully classic, and just as it should. I see no problems there. The Skeletor design looks fantastic, looks great. The animation style itself is very pleasing. It has that kind of anime look. I know a lot of people are sort of describing this as more of a Masters Universe 2000X 2.0, and it kind of is in some ways, and I was talking to Brandon about it. He made an astute point. He said that he'd even kind of moved the same way. Glad to see some really cool things that we didn't know would be in the show, like the land shark here. Very nice to see a classic vehicle, and I believe that's Clawful flying through the air. And of course, it's great to see characters like Fisto and Clampchamp alongside of Teela. And Teela is something that's kind of the elephant in the room that we're going to get to. Also great to see Scareglow. I know he's a big fan favorite, for me included. Merman also looking very good. And then we have some of those Eternian Royal Guards, which are sort of like what we're going to see, I guess, from Big Bad Toy Store. And here's something that is a kind of a blink and you'll miss it sort of thing. Is that Faker in the background? It kind of looks like a robot wearing He-Man's power vest. So I think Faker may be in the show. Classic transformation sequence looked great. All the voice acting sounded really, really good. And I love the transformation. It looks wonderful. I also really liked Mark Hamill as Skeletor. And some people were a little cautious about that because they were like, well, he kind of sounds like the Joker. I don't like that trope where everybody always says, oh, whatever voice Mark Hamill does, it just sounds like the Joker. Okay, it's the same actor. If you're looking for the similarity, it'll be there. But I feel like he did something very unique here. It actually sounds really good. Love Battle Cat and how ferocious he looks. Really glad to see the Skelecon Warriors, which are kind of more of an obscure piece of the lore. I never did get their classics figure, so I really hope that they end up doing one in this new line. He-Man himself has kind of an anime-ish look, but it's not overtly anime, and I think it looks really good. And definitely the bulk and the muscles are correct. Beastman's looking fantastic. This was the one kind of iffy thing I saw in the trailer, where there's that sort of CGI boulder that He-Man is holding up. And it just looked kind of out of place. So that's something they really just still haven't mastered just yet. And then we have Whiplash, briefly seen in the show. And then Roboto. Man-at-Arms here looks really interesting in a cape and some different kinds of armor. So that may be from a different scene or a different episode. You never know. Some sky sleds and things around. Orko, who has kind of a weird new design with the bare arms. I guess they bulked Orko up. And then you have the finale of the trailer where it appears that Skeletor summons a giant. Now, this giant fist could very well belong to Skelegod, the big action figure that we saw. But, you know, in this trailer, and, you know, it was very appropriately outrageous and it was very over the top. They even had, you know, Holding Out for a Hero playing. I don't know. I think that was a little on the nose. I think the song choice was maybe a little silly. But it's He-Man, so I can't really say things are too silly one way or another. But I am a little concerned here because I am almost of the opinion that this trailer is a little deceptive because I just do not believe that this trailer represents the bulk of what this show is going to be. We've seen all sorts of plot outlines and things leaked, nothing that spoils the entire show or anything like that. But the premise of the series is kind of out there now. It's kind of in the ether. And we've had lots of different sources report on this, that apparently all of this footage, and I think practically every bit of it that we've seen, I'd be very surprised if any of it wasn't. I'm pretty sure practically all this footage is from the first maybe couple episodes or maybe the first part of the series, because we know this is going to be broadcast and we know this is going to stream in 2 parts. And so one of the parts could just be all the stuff before a cataclysmic event happens, and I think that the Skelegod figure pretty much shows us that Skeletor is going to get the power sword and he is going to take on the power and grow gigantic. And then the rest of the Masters will be scattered. But after that point, and this is where I think a lot of people are going to have trouble, you have Teela that kind of takes over as essentially the main character of the show. Now, typically I would say that that's just some kind of crazy fan theory and people are just trying to be haters. But no, I think there's been enough out there now that's kind of showing that, hey, this very well could be the way that they're going with this show. And that you're going to have He-Man kind of relegated to the sidelines, or he's going to lose the power. And the craziest versions, and these are potential spoilers here, so be careful, tread lightly. The craziest version of these rumors says that at the end, Teela is the one who gets the power sword, and she kind of like takes over the mantle as some kind of She-Ra type of character. And I'm telling you right now that if this is the direction that they're going in, and I know that there's nothing solid or concrete about this, but I really hope that these are just rumors, that this isn't exactly what they're actually going to do. Now, I think a form of this could be great because I think Teela is a great character and I think that she deserves plenty of screen time. And I would love to see a middle portion of this story about Teela kind of taking a leadership role. That would be fantastic. But Masters of the Universe is about He-Man. All right, it just is. He is the main character. He's not the only character, but he is the lead. And I hope that Kevin Smith knows the fan base well enough to know that if it isn't He-Man at the end of the day, Prince Adam as He-Man fighting Skeletor, that people will really have a hard time accepting it. Now me, I'm pretty open-minded about this stuff. You're talking about somebody, I liked The Last Jedi pretty well. There were things about it that I wouldn't have done, but I feel like as a product, it came together all right. So I'm very open-minded. But I may draw the line if they try some of the things that some of the rumors suggest. And I really hope that that's not the case. I will say, just based on the trailer, what I'm seeing here, I love everything that I saw. There's hardly anything about it that I would change whatsoever. But I still can't help but wonder if this isn't a prelude to He-Man being sidelined, to the characters all, there's that picture, and it's just going to keep haunting the discussions of this show that shows you what it's going to look like after a time jump, and it does not look like any of this. There's nothing presented from the time frame of that still in this trailer. So I hope that they have taken care with the continuity. I hope they've taken care with the portrayal of the characters, because if they haven't, then it's going to be a disaster. I really do think it will blow up in their faces. And I hope that Kev was smart enough to make sure that it didn't veer into that, because it is a little frightening to think that they may be ready to take what could have been a great shot at reviving He-Man on Netflix and maybe turning it on its head to a point where it's not recognizable anymore. And that's a little concerning for the fan base. It's a little concerning for me. But if I had to go based on just what I saw in this trailer, animation is on point. Everything sounds great. The action looks absolutely terrific. And if nothing else, I'm really going to enjoy watching this first segment of the show. But I would caution them to be awfully careful. And they're promoting the show like this. It's going to be very difficult for the fan base to accept when they find out that maybe most of the show isn't like this. That's going to be tough. So I hope that they'll use caution. I hope that it is what they say it is. Nothing would make me happier than to see these rumors proven wrong. But I have a bad feeling that maybe we won't. Fanboys and fangirls, I sure do thank you for tuning in. Of course, be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on any of the coverage that I have coming up on this show and all the toys. It's going to be interesting. We're in it together, so we'll see what happens. And as more information comes out, I'll keep you updated. As always, take care, God bless, and I'll see you on Fanboys Forever. Fanboy out.